The next 2 weeks are going to be busy if you're a farm show person, and we certainly are here at This Week in Agribusiness. Next week, of course, is the Half Century of Progress, and then it's the Farm Progress Show. Max, are you ready for the half century?
You bet we are ready, Mike, for the half century of progress. There's been this pent-up demand over the past 2 years, and what a privilege it is this year to be involved with the folks from Becks Hybrids. Sonny Beck, Chief Executive Officer of Beck Superior Hybrids, joining us here on the broadcast this weekend. Sonny, I have to ask you first and foremost, how's the seed crop in the Eastern Corn Belt? It looks like crop conditions are pretty good.
Well, Max, first of all, I admire you so much for what you continue to do on radio and and everything you do for agriculture. So thank you. And yeah, we've had a pretty good seed crop going in Indiana and our Ohio location. Illinois is not too bad. It's a little dry right now, but corn can handle dry at the end. Soybeans looks like they could use another rain or two. But here we feel like we're about 7-8% ahead of our budget, which means our average crop for here in central Indiana. Overall, as we go to Iowa and so forth, they're more or less right on budget to a couple points ahead. So is there going to be enough seed? We don't have to worry about that.
One thing that occurs to us is the seed harvest is approaching rather rapidly. When do you think in most of your fields you'll begin the harvest?
Well, as far as field corn, that will be probably 10 days or so. As far as our seed corn, Max, our guys said we will get started next Tuesday already on some of the early hybrids that we plant early to get the dryer warmed up and to get your employees warmed up and any new training you need to do. So we'll start a couple of days before our field days start and then have to shut down for that. But that way we'll get going. After August 26th, it'll be full steam ahead.
We know you have an event with your customers in the coming week as the Half Century of Progress is getting underway. And then after the Half Century is the Farm Progress Show. You folks will be there too, won't you, Sonny?
Yes, sure will. Yes, sir.
One thing about the Half Century of Progress, and I've talked about this with some of the folks who work with you, it is such a great family event. And your heritage as a family company goes back a few decades. In fact, you have an old tractor yourself, don't you?
Oh, absolutely. Yes. The family's farm started here in 1901, so it's over 100 years old. But I have an F20. It's a 1938 model. My grandfather and father bought it in 1937. Happened to be the same year that they started the seed company here, and so on hybrid seed corn. And so yes, that I remember it's the first tractor I learned to drive on, and you can't have a smile big enough. The smile was on my face, a 5-year-old, when my grandfather, got off to open the gate to the field and says, "Okay, now you can drive it through." And boy, those memories, you just remember that forever, And of course, after that, there was no barring me. I could drive anything after that, So, yeah, it's fun being a farm kid.
It obviously got you off to a good start. Once again, we appreciate the involvement of Becks Hybrids in the Half Century of Progress. We appreciate you. Until we get to see you in person someday soon, take care of yourself, Sonny.
Hey, thanks, Max.
Mike, we sure look forward to seeing many of our friends at Rantoul.
There might be fewer folks growing up on a farm, but they can experience that magic that Sonny Beck talked about next week, Thursday through Sunday at the Half Century of Progress Show. Immediately hot on the heels is the Farm Progress Show, August 31st, September 1st and 2nd.